Ah, yes, you see it. Thank y'all so much for the big 2K. And we're already nearing 3K. Y'all witnessing your boy growing from an inconsistent uploader back when I was in Skypiea with only 6 members of the crew to now obtaining my peak. I'm really Joy Boy for real. And bruh, y'all went crazy on this video complimenting the intro. Now I already knew it was hate, but man, it's good to see that my hard work is paying off. And with that, I thank y'all so much for all the love and support, you feel me? I just wanted to quickly thank y'all for recognizing my hard work, and we're only going up from here. Now, before we get into this hate, you have 7 seconds to choose your option. Alright, you can either go left, hit that like button if my channel is hate, but if you don't think so, then I want you to go through the same process anyways, because like, I'm at my peak. Oh, and go get you a pack of golden Oreos. Them shits fire. Now on with the hate. Now, this video is extremely important for those that don't understand the meaning of Gear 5 Luffy and its potential, as well as the reason for why the recent One Piece episode 1071 played out the way it did. And just so we're clear, I'm not claiming that Luffy's Gear 5 transformation is currently more iconic than Super Saiyan, but can it become more iconic? Yes, absolutely. But is it right now? Obviously not. Super Saiyan Goku is the godfather of transformations, since it was the first to set a pathway for transformations in anime, being a huge inspiration for characters with power-ups, with a slight to major change in appearance and a serious tone to it for 20 plus years. But with that being said, Gear 5 has set a completely new pathway for anime power-ups by fundamentally changing the way he fights and gets stronger. Luffy is the only anime character in existence who uses joy as a power-up, being liberated from everything outside of his battle with Kaido, on top of fighting in a cartoonish manner. The concept of Gear 5 in its entirety is something we've never seen before in anime. For the longest of times throughout the history of anime, transformations always consist of a slight change in appearance and a power boost. But Luffy's Gear 5 changes that. Couldn't be Naruto or Ichigo. No shade though, no shade. But anyways, with not only just his transformation, but the fight along with the environment as well becoming like that of a cartoon. From Kaido and Luffy's eyes popping from their eye sockets, Luffy's mouth detaching from his face, the wacky cartoon sound effects, the tone of the music, Luffy's fighting style, art style, and his Toon Force as a whole, which is a huge step in a new direction for transformations to come in anime. Luffy's Gear 5 has opened up a new pathway for shonen transformation, aka a dawn of a new era, and it's really refreshing seeing something completely different, so unique compared to every transformation we've seen in anime, where the whole properties and effects of the world changes was unheard of in anime until now. As I once said, One Piece is always the first to accomplish something that no other anime in existence has. And no, I'm not saying that it's the first to create a pathway. No, I'm saying it's the first to have a transformation that has nothing to do with getting angry in order to become stronger. With Luffy's Gear 5 straying away from the path Goku made for anime and creating an entirely new one set for the new era that can potentially surpass that of Super Saiyan. Toon Force in itself is extremely iconic and overpowered, and to give it to the best MC in anime history from the best anime to ever exist is game changing. This power is obtained from someone who's the face of anime, which is why episode 1071 of One Piece broke the internet to begin with. The most hyped transformation ever, doing so with its debut. And we haven't even got into the main heat that is the next 2 to 3 episodes. Oh, and since Luffy does have Toon Force, he absolutely bodies the rest of the big 3, as well as Goku, even though he doesn't need it to low diff Naruto. But due to the fact that Toon Force breaks the entire equilibrium of a versus battle apart, since they can take the smallest level of attacks and have it affect planetary, universal, and multiversal beings, due to the ability it gives the user. Now, before you take what I'm saying out of proportion, no, I'm not saying he solos fiction. All I am saying is that he is capable of toying with those who are leagues above him, whether it's universal or multiversal. And as we know, Goku nor Naruto has ever faced someone with such wackiness, someone who is able to literally defy the laws of physics, with only have fought in people with similar abilities and fighting styles in a sense. Now, you take the wacky fighting style of Toon Force, the power to manifest anything from your imagination into reality, along with bypassing your opponent's AP and DC, and giving giving that to someone who has phenomenal battle IQ that was already wacky to begin with not to mention someone who's already large planetary to dwarf star. And whether you disagree with that, I mean, it really honestly doesn't matter, since I did say no matter what level of the attack, it's still gonna be effective. Now, all of that combined is just too much for either of them to handle. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that Goku can overcome many obstacles, but we've already seen how Goku and Vegeta would fare against such wackiness. Despite it being a filler, it still holds some truth to it. And not to mention, a Tail Beast Bomb isn't even close to powerful enough to taking down the base Luffy alone, since we have Pale back in Alabasta surviving an even greater explosion, with Luffy being thousands of times stronger than him, outclassing him in every single way, on top of having extremely high endurance, armament haki, and Conqueror's coding. Bro has mad layers of protection on top of high endurance. Not to mention, bro is already getting handled by an ordinary pirate. But I'ma chill, I might make a Why Gear 5 Luffy solos upload, who knows? But anyways, of course I don't expect all of y'all to accept that fact, just like how some people cannot accept the fact that Luffy is the greatest character in fiction, as well as having the best series in fiction. You know, since you're biased to the point delusion has corrupted your mind. Now, I'm a huge Naruto fan, but let's say it was my favorite, right? And someone told me that One Piece was the most watched show, and it was ranked above Stranger Things, The Walking Dead, and this, that, and the third, and that a fictional character was rated top 3 TV characters of all time, and that character so happens to be the MC of One Piece, being ranked amongst the likes of Jenna Ortega and Millie Bobby Brown, then best believe all bias is gonna be set aside, cause One Piece is clearly moving different. But anyways, while getting back on the topic of episode 1071 of One Piece, now I'm gonna be going slightly off topic, so I do apologize, but I think there's a lot of misunderstandings from people when it comes to this episode. People seem to forget that this episode was not the entire fight, nor was the fight the main focus. The main focus was supposed to be his transformation, hence why we were looking at Gear 5 and all its greatness for half an episode, and that all the hype that people were building up and the work is for the next 2 to 3 episodes, not episode 1071. But social media led y'all to believe that it was when the birth of his transformation, Gear 5, is where they were going to pull out all the stocks. But no, that couldn't be further from the truth. Even if there's the slightest hate from episode 1071 of One Piece, it's mainly coming from people that either skipped the series in order to witness Gear 5 with the rest of the world, watching it only for the hype with no understanding on why Luffy is where he is to begin with, or that you were so hyped for Gear 5 that you believed that the entirety of the episode would only be Gear 5, and was let down when you seen Hiyori and Orochi. Speaking of Orochi, who else is glad that bastard finally died? I got so tired of seeing bro's face, but bro just wouldn't go away. And I know it's not just me. Comment below smoking on that Orochi pack if you agree. But yeah, for the people that watched the episode that did either of these things, then of course you'll end up ruining it for yourself, because you're watching the episode without having any clue on what's happening and why this is important to the story. This anime episode was completely perfect to the manga, while adding even more. And every true One Piece fan knows the fight for the next few episodes is where the hype people been building up will come from. So for those of us that were aware, knew not to hype up episode 1071 as if it's going to have the best fight taking place in Onigashima. Or Onigashima? I don't know, man. I'll say Onigashima because it rolls off the tongue a bit better. But yeah, no, 1071 was solely focused on the transformation in itself. And of course they were going to at least give us a glimpse of his powers, like that's obvious. But a full-blown episode dedicated to a fight between Peak Transformation Gear 5 and Kaido is for the next few episodes. Also, I would like to mention that Gear 5 absolutely crushed the internet, crashing multiple sites and streaming services, as expected. Taiji. And we haven't even gotten into the main course of the heat. Also, can we appreciate the fact that Luffy is able to split the heavens alone, when normally it takes a clash between two powerful Conqueror's Haki users? But in short, because I don't want to cook for too long since I do have more content to cover for you guys, Luffy's Gear 5 transformation set a new pathway for transformations to come, and we've only scratched the surface of Gear 5 Luffy's abilities. We haven't even gotten into his powers to create something using his imagination, bringing it to reality, like when he created a pair of solid goggles from the clouds of his hair. Gear 5 is absolutely the peak of transformations without a doubt, very much a fact. And yeah, that's the greatness of Gear 5 Luffy and his debut episode. Hopefully this gave those that didn't understand why Luffy's transformation is peak and why its episode was perfect a new outlook. Now with that being said, whether you're from TikTok or YouTube, don't forget to drop a like and follow and subscribe. We moving. Also, I'm taking recommendations, bro, so hit the comments and more heat on the way.